Hello and welcome back to Guild Wars 2. Today I have something very special to talk about. My SO started playing Guild Wars 2. I had a bunch of different things planned out to be able to convince her to play with me because I was very excited about the game and I wanted her to play with me. And I had already planned out ways to talk her into getting the expansions, and then I'd use a boost on a separate character for her and go ahead and get her the mount so she can get those early and be able to run around with those, and we could play together and get her gliding, and it was going to be great. But then, incredibly, she got selected to test the new player experience. She got selected as part of the new player experience test and got a mount at level 10. And she's going to talk about her thoughts on it later on in the video here. I just wanted to highlight how incredible that was and how it automatically opened the door for us to be able to play together. We partied up. We got into going through stuff. She really enjoys the story so far. But the most interesting thing to me is that she started off playing a Mesmer. And she liked Mesmer but found it a little weird and wanted to play around with something a little more punchy. So she started playing as a Thief, and she really enjoyed Thief. We got her Thief up to like level 40, and we're having a blast there, but she kind of wanted to play something with a little bit more range. Even though Thief could use range, she wanted to try out a Ranger. And between those three characters, playing those, we've got her Ranger up into the 30s now. Between playing those, she has really fallen for this game in a cool way. We'll be talking or doing something else or eating, and we'll just bring up Guild Wars and talk about Guild Wars. And she'll mention, well, we completed that map, but which map are we going to do next? And she really enjoys the map completion angle. And again, I'm going to let her talk about it. I just kind of wanted to give an intro here and let her be able to talk about what she thought. But my thoughts on this new player experience are that this should be the standard. Getting that mount at level 10, I understand why people say, hey, Heart of Thorns is better without the mount. I understand that, but the sheer level of convenience for how big these maps are, I didn't realize how much I wish I'd had a mount sooner until I saw her going through zones that I went through, and going through those zones with her on a mount. I was like, oh yeah, this is 100% what it should be. I think that there absolutely was value to me running through, right? I know those maps back and forth. But honestly, she's learned those maps pretty well too. There'll be times where she just rattles off a waypoint and I go, which one was that again? And I have to find it on the map. Because she goes, yeah, we should go back to this waypoint so that we can go and do this event going on. And I think part of what makes it so satisfying, as somebody who's already done it and knows what's going on, is seeing the sheer amount of people that are just like, hey, you're new, do you want this die? Or, hey, do you know where this is? Or do you want some help doing this hero challenge? Or do you want some help doing this? And obviously she has me to help her, but they don't know that, right? And so it's just really cool to see another person, secondhand getting to see what happened to me, happen to her is really cool. And then not only that, but being able to go, hey, let's go and do this event. Or, hey, here's these leyline anomalies events that she doesn't even, she's never done a ley line before. She hasn't gotten into the story stuff for ley lines, but she's able to do those events. Hey, ascended events, and she hasn't gotten to the story stuff for that yet, but she's able to do those events. And secondhand, it's so fun to me to see her able to do basically everything that now I recognize, having gotten to 80, having put like 40, 50 hours into this game, that in other games you just wouldn't be able to do. They would just be zoned out of the instance, right? They would be in a separate instance where players that have gotten to level 80 could do this. And it just is really satisfying to me to be able to see that from this secondhand perspective, that Guild Wars does not shy away from like, hey, you may not know why this is important yet, but you can go ahead and do it now. And I really like it. I think that playing through this again with her has just yet again reminded me that this new player experience is even better. Getting them out, getting some early gear to be able to start off. But also that this game is just really fun to play, even at low level. And yeah, I can't be thankful enough that I get to share this experience with my SO, that I get to share it with all of you here on YouTube, and as I'm falling in love with this game. And I'll let her talk now. I'll let her talk about her thoughts. But thanks again so much for watching.
As a new player to the game, Guild Wars 2 has been an overall great experience so far. I've played almost exclusively in a party with Trey the whole time, and I love the way Guild Wars 2 tackles grouping up with lower levels. In almost every other MMO I've played, it always felt like a higher level player wasn't getting much of anything grouping up with someone new to the game. I've largely focused on map completion because it feels great to 100% a zone, and it allows higher levels to still get decent experience while going through said zones with someone else. I did some story quests on one character, and it didn't lock me into a single player mode for those quests, which I really appreciated, and was one of the reasons I didn't like Final Fantasy more than I do. That being said, the story quests weren't overly rewarding for the person partied up with you if they weren't also on them, which I'm pretty sure can happen in the later story quests, but the option was still there to party up and have a friend helping with them. Granted, I did get the new player experience that gave me access to a mount at level 10, which I think definitely helped, as Trey didn't have to walk after he had already unlocked the mounts, which made us grouping up together more seamless. I've been loving the game so far and can't wait to see the higher level content.
All that said, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum the Guild Wars 2 has to offer.